everybody, it's me, PDawg Knight, in the immortal words of Mr. Stop the Hammering himself. Oh no, that wasn't him, that was Bill O'Reilly. Never mind, we'll do it live! Anyway, good morning, how you doing? Welcome to the Morning Night Live. Yes, the question of the day is, are you sick of it? Oh, I mean, are you sick yet? I hope you're not. I hope you're doing well. I know that this whole mess that the entire world is going through is disrupting a lot of lives, and hopefully I can bring you not just information, but some levity, some entertainment, a couple laughs, and we'll just try to keep going like we do on this show. So, get ready to get into it. I'm going to play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. And there we go. Let's stop the music. Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight, on this lovely March 18th, 2020. I just realized my car insurance is due today. I should probably pay that bill. We're midweek of the first week of Corona Apocalypse. And all I ask is the people who watch this show, please and continue to keep yourself safe. I don't know what that entails for you. I know that, it's not just keeping yourself safe. Keep the people around you safe. Keep the people you care about safe by just following the things that the government, I know, tells you to do. The recommendations of the health experts. And honestly, we're going to get through this. We're all going to get through it. And on that note, there are some really, really stupid people out there. And, wait, let me rephrase that. I don't know if they're stupid. Some of them, there's stupid people. And then there are people who are stupid with derangement. You know what I'm saying? Derangement. They're deranged. They're so caught up in their own hatred, their own political zeal, they just want the world to burn because, I hate to say it, 3 words. And I think you know what the 3 words are. No, they're not Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That's a whole nother topic. But there's 3 words that have these people acting like complete assholes. And those 3 words are orange, man, bad. It is so frustrating. Sometimes I go on Twitter and I go, how can you actually think that? I mean, these people, it's weird. It's like everything that you would think in religion that people would say that the devil is. These people have that religious zeal in their hate for Trump. They hate Trump so much that they're willing to have the rest of the world destroyed for their political ends. it's amazing to me some of the things I've been reading lately, and we're going to read some of them today, just so that you can share the cancer that I've been listening to, or reading, listening to, whatever, seeing. It's and some of it's just insane. Now I'm not going to stay. Well, look, we're going to try to get through a whole bunch of headlines today, not get too deep into stories like I normally do, because there's a whole lot of stuff going on. But it's just like, sorry, I'm looking away from you right now. I'm trying to set up my my soundboard here to make sure it works. But I just, it's just some of the shit I'm reading and people are saying just has no relation to reality whatsoever. And I can't believe just how insane some of the people that comes out of their little keyboards onto Twitter or comes out of their mouth on the TV. It's holy shit. In 10 years, when we're all fine, and well, not all of us, oh my gosh, holy crap. Okay, okay. Okay, I've got a little news here. It's frustrating, and I could spend the entire day on Twitter just knocking down stupid things people say, and I occasionally do that, but it's a challenge anyway. So before we get into it, let's say good morning to everybody. First in the door today was Grillin' Pirate Pete, who gets the bell. Thank you for being here. Also, good morning to Advocatus Diabli, Jaeger Pony, Chi-Town J, Attack Alpaca, Kanan, Gunfox61, who has my mailbox filled to the brim. Holy shit, dude. You are prolific. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Patrice Ripley. I hope you're doing well, my dear. I hope things are working out for you and your kid. Good morning, Jaeger Pony. Oh, did I already say Jaeger Pony? Yes, I did. Silly me. Hello, Becca Fairley, Mike Savage, Cynical Lindsay, Zero the Hero, Maniac Man, Amazing Hoplite, Gulf City Johnny Blaze, and Data Wasteland, Cal Canel, Tacapac. I think I said Tacapac already. If I didn't, hello. And I think that did Tyler F. Okay, so that's everyone who's in so far. I'm sure more people will be stepping into the door as we roll along. Be sure to make sure that you, while you're thinking about it, or while I've got your attention early in the show, hit that share arrow, or you can retweet Becca Fairley this morning. I'll put her tweet in the chat. Thank you, Grillin' Pirate Pete and Becca Fairley, by the way, who've already tweeted out the show. If you are on Twitter, here's Becca's tweet in the chat. You can retweet her, and the more the merrier. Now, I got a warning for you right now, and I'll probably remind you this tomorrow, or not tomorrow, at the end of this show. I don't know what kind of effect. Good morning, this is Kyle too. I don't know what kind of effect this particular title is going to have, but I'm going to warn everyone who comes here on a fairly regular basis that there could be, how should I describe it? I'll just call it an influx. There could and I'm not sure for 100%, but it's possible that we could have an influx of people who've never been here before tomorrow, because I'm going to title my stream something that I say often on my channel. Thank you, Tyler F, for retweeting the show, by the way. That I say often on my channel that most of you will understand what I'm saying when I say it. However, I'm pretty confident that most of the people who see this particular phrase that I use quite often on this show are going to misconstrue it one way or another. Hello, D.I. Freighter. And that phrase that I use quite often on this show that you certainly understand what I mean when I say it is Donald Trump is a jackass. Now, most of you know what I mean when I say that. Now, you know that when I say that, I think of it as a feature, not a bug. I think you almost have to be a jackass to be the president of the United States, especially right now when everyone is coming at you. Now, sometimes I wish people would take his phone away. There are times when he tweets something and I go, oh, did you need to tweet that? But that's okay. That's his style, not mine. I don't care. But I'm going to guess that most people who see that phrase on Twitter or Minds or Gab or wherever people happen to see it, they're going to have a different interpretation than I do. So if some of those people tune in tomorrow, we may have to, I don't say that we necessarily need to moderate, because I don't think they're going to understand what I mean when I say that. And when I explain it, we might get some arguments. We might get some, and also here's something else we might get. We might get some MAGA people coming in here to trash me. And that's fine. I don't care, because if they listen for a few minutes, maybe they'll go, oh, okay, I see what he means. Or some will say, no, that's just wrong, whatever, argue out, blah, 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 blah. But I'm just warning my regular guests, those of you who know what I mean when I say that phrase, just to be prepared, just in case. I don't know what will actually happen. We'll see. Because right now, I need, I kind of need the president to be a jackass. Because, or at least enough of a jackass to just brush off all the other bullshit that's thrown at him, which he does pretty well. I think he responds a little bit too much. But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. But that is my plan for tomorrow. Be prepared. Now, I do want, Gunfox, thank you. This one article I am actually going to feature at the beginning of the show, because this is important. And then I've got a whole bunch of other stories, and if I can, I'll get to some of the rest of these as we go along, possibly. I think this is an important one to know, from Bloomberg News, which I'm not a fan of Bloomberg News anymore, because they seem to be of the Trump derangement syndrome variety. But then again, most of the news is. But anyway, here's something that's important. U.S. blood supply under stress as shutdowns stop blood drives. Seattle Blood Bank warned that supply was about to collapse. Respiratory viruses don't spread through blood, officials say, which makes me think I might go out and do. I do platelets, so they do the double arm thing, and they go in one arm and one out the other, and blah blah blah. And that's something that I do much on a regular basis. Anyway, the broad shutdown of American commerce and social life caused by the new coronavirus pandemic has put the nation's blood supply under stress. It's never been seen before, the blood center directors say. The centers are urging people to make appointments to donate after the typical venues for drives, schools, colleges, workplaces, and houses of worship have broadly shut down. About 4,000 blood drives scheduled for March, April, and May have been canceled, reducing the projected supply by 130,000 donations, according to America's Blood Centers, an industry group. A March 13th Congressional Research Service report warned the outbreak may pose significant challenges to the U.S. blood supply. Blood is essential to the daily operation of a hospital, and it is needed to treat trauma patients or replenish blood lost in surgeries. Treatments for some chronic diseases require regular transfusions or components including platelets. That's what I do. Because blood is a limited shelf life, the medical system needs a continuous supply of donations to keep operating. So here's what I'd like you to do, folks. I'm not going to read the whole article, but I think that is important. In fact, right now, as we speak, I'm going to tweet that article out. I know, it's just one of those things. If you are able to, in fact, I'm going to put this out. Important. Sorry, it's hard for me to talk and talk at the same time. If you are able, Here, okay. All right, I'm gonna tweet that, and I'm also gonna put in the chat if y'all wouldn't mind retweeting this. I think that's a very important thing. So thank you, Gun Fox, for throwing that out there. That is really important. Let's see. Here we go. Copy. I'll put it in the chat. If you'd be so kind, if you retweet that, that would be fantastic. All right, let's get into the regular stuff. Now, I wanted to get into some of the things that I've been bookmarking because, holy crap, some of the stupid things that people say. And, there would be less to edit there. Well, it's not a funk day, but here I do have, thank you for reminding me. I forgot, y'all let me go the whole show with just without any music yesterday. Today we're doing synth pop. Synth as in synthesizer pop. And, the reason this is probably the closest thing that I can get to K-pop without having people singing. So, yeah, here we go. There's the intro. Because it's about as, synth pop is about as, it's about as plastic as K-pop. Could you imagine a K-pop group singing along to this tune? I know you can. That's a little loud though, isn't it? I'm gonna turn it down just a bit. I always try to watch these levels, but this is kind of soothing, isn't it? I kind of like it. Just thinking, you're sitting out on the nice green grass in the spring. The flowers are coming up, the fresh air, and then someone sits within 6 feet of you and you give them the dirtiest look you possibly can. Yes. It's a bit loud. I hope I've turned it down since you said that. There's a delay between the time that I say words and here, I'm trying to turn it down. It's always a bit loud. I'll just try to talk louder and you can turn your volume down. It's just how it is. Until I get a new setup where I can manage the music separately, I don't know. I've got to figure that out. This website is that's the one problem with this site. It's either, this is at the very lowest I can turn it up. I think I got it. Okay, that probably works a little better. All right, let's get into some of the cancer that I bookmarked. There's a few of them. Holy shit. And I just want to go through a couple, unfortunately, I'm going to go through a couple Twitter threads that I just don't get it. Just really weird. By the way, thank you, Becca Farley. I already thanked Becca. Thanks, Bob H, Necrosol Collins, Jaeger Pony, Stormy Sutherland, Pirate Pete, and for all of you who are tweeting out the show, I really appreciate it. That helps a lot. And in fact, we broke the 600 subscriber mark. Don't forget, on April 3rd, we're doing the 300th show, 600 subscribers, and PDawg's birthday show. That's 2 weeks from Friday. Just a reminder: call your friends, call your neighbors, bring your favorite relation. I don't know what I was trying to say there. I just made shit up as I go along. All right, let's get into it. So I bookmarked a couple things that just drove me insane yesterday. First of all, many of you know who did. First, Scribe Light actually got me onto this one. Apparently, there are now unpublished documents from the Chinese Communist regime that reveal a 55-year-old Wuhan patient suffering from the coronavirus as early as November 17th, 2019, much earlier than officially announced. According to the World Health Organization, the first recorded case in China was on December 8th. So that's a full 3 weeks. That's a full 3 weeks before they originally said that case was. Let's see if this is here's the report.
As the coronavirus spreads around the world, the hunt for patient zero continues. On Friday, a new internal document from the Chinese Communist regime reveals the novel coronavirus appeared much earlier than officially announced. According to Hong Kong-based media, unpublished documents from the Chinese Communist regime reveal a 55-year-old Wuhan patient suffering from what's now known as the novel coronavirus as early as November 17th last year. It's not clear if he is patient zero, but so far there are no records of earlier cases. The report also revealed starting from that date, there were 1 to 5 new cases each day. By December 15th, the total number of infection was at 27. By December 20th, that number had reached 60. That's in sharp contrast to what the world knows as the first case. According to the World Health Organization, the first recorded case in China was on December 8th. And according to medical journal The Lancet, the first patient in a hospital in Wuhan treated for the coronavirus was on December 1st.
So now that very well could be they originally didn't know what it was. They could have thought it was a flu. Who knows why? But they're really trying to track down patient zero to see if they can figure out where this came from. Now they're starting to say that it had something. There's some weird kind of animal. I can't remember the name of the animal. It kind of looks like a aardvark with scales, though. But it's this animal that apparently may have interacted with a bat, and this animal is where they perhaps got the virus from. If anyone knows the name of the animal, I can't remember. It's a real weird looking thing, though. Oh, the monkey swarm. Yeah, I saw the monkey swarm video. So anyway, that's shocker. They didn't tell us about that earlier. Also, now this next one, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So everyone, if you know who David Frum is, David Frum was in the Bush administration, and now he's the rabid anti-Trumper. Well, you know the little meme about, not meme or whatever, the I don't know, the trope that's saying that's saying Wuhan virus or Chinese virus is racist. Well, here's David Frum, who tweeted this out. Okay, I have to make that bigger. No, it won't. Here we go. Who tweeted this out, where he said, yesterday, nobody calls the 1919-1920 pandemic the Spanish flu anymore. And not because we're soft on the Inquisition. It's just not a useful way to name a disease. Oh, really, David Frum? I've never heard anyone call it anything else but the Spanish flu. But wait a minute. What's this? What's this? A great artist, war debilitated. He fell victim to Spanish flu. I'm sorry. Somebody named David Frum tweeted that out in 2016. So apparently, what's been happening? So now are people. You know how Wikipedia is, it's user generated. Basically, different people can edit Wikipedia. Apparently, there's a huge push. Pangolin, thank you. The pangolin, thank you, Amazing Hoplite. It's a weird looking animal. We'll look one up. I'll put one on the screen. There's a huge push on Wikipedia right now. There's a bunch of people who do editing who are petitioning Wikipedia to remove the name Spanish flu from the epidemic of 1919. It's been called the Spanish flu for 100 years, and now they want to change the name on Wikipedia. Isn't that special? Let's look up pangolin. Here, hang on. A pangolin. P-A-N-G-O, pangolin. Here's a pangolin. There's a freaky looking animal. Here you go. Put it on the screen. So these are pangolins. Like I said, it looks kind of like an aardvark. Now there's one. There's a weird picture. It looks like a giant pine cone, actually. Here's another one. Here's what they look like from the front. So it looks like it's a mammal, but it has scales, kind of like kind of like an what's those things you find down in Texas? Armadillos, like an armadillo. It's they ball up like an armadillo. What a weird looking animal. And apparently, and then they ball up kind of like armadillos do. So real freaky looking animal. So anyway, there's your pangolin. Hong Kong shops defy ban on trade in pangolin scales. Oh my God, they sell pangolin scales. All right. Anyway, there's your weird looking animal today, and somebody ate one of those apparently, or came into contact with one. So they think that now they're thinking that the virus came from an interaction with a bat and a pangolin. So there you go. Good morning, John Connor, and good morning to the gayest person on YouTube. Welcome. All right, now the next one. Oh, before I do, let's do the shill. I got to do the shill. Got to remind you while you're here, if you like what we do, make sure you hit the like button, thumbs up, which is right down there. Duck Dog, if you're here, you can hit the thumbs down. Also, make sure that please share the show out with people you know on social media. You can either retweet me on Twitter, which I'm at PDawg Night. There's PDawg Night right down there. It's right over there. PDawg Night at PDawg Night on Twitter, Minds, or Gab. And if you want to be a permanent feature of the show, like just for sure get your thoughts out there, you can both support the show and become a permanent part of it by doing super chats or donations through the Streamlabs link in the description down below, which is or the PDawgNight.live website. That's what's right there. That right there. That's it. PDawgNight.live. You see that? All right. Now back to the news. It's an aardvark. It's a pangolin. Hello, Dead Kaiser. All right. Now this. Okay. Back to my bookmarks. This one is insanity. Oh wait, there's there's a couple of them here. Well, let's do this one first. Now, when I read this, I pretty much close to fell out of my chair. This is somebody named Glenn Kirshner, and Glenn Kirshner. Oh, by the way, reminder: please do not harass or contact or whatever any of the people you talk about on the Morning Night Live. That's just I don't know. That's just not cool. Anyway, this guy's Glenn Kirshner, NBC News, MSNBC legal analyst, former 30-year federal prosecutor with the USAO DC chief of homicide, U.S. Army. He's the whatever. He's a JAG. Okay. He's a jag off, actually. But anyway, he says, here's his tweet. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. Hey, y'all. Can we talk about one of the few topics I may actually know too much about? Homicide. Specifically, whether Donald Trump may have criminal exposure for some level of negligent homicide or involuntary manslaughter for the way he's mishandled coronavirus. Holy shit. And that is not a Chinese name. No, I'm saying 2 words, not 3. He continues, I spent 22 of my 30 years as a federal prosecutor handling murder cases in Washington, D.C. I served as chief of the homicide section at the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office, overseeing all murder prosecutions in the city. This line is hilarious. Listen to this. I was always on the lookout for novel ways to apply homicide. Oh my God. Novel ways to apply homicide. Well, yes, maybe we can figure out if we can do it from a clown car. Good morning, Mitch the Ripper and Humble Clay. I see you guys dropped in. Good morning, Maniac Man and Johnny Blaze. What's happening, my brother? All right. Liability in an attempt to appropriately and ethically hold accountable those who were responsible for taking the life of a fellow human being. I think it's fair to observe that there's nothing more devastating to a family than losing a loved one to either violent crime or to an illness that could have been prevented or mitigated. Motherfucker, have you looked at the map of the world lately? Have you looked at any of these coronavirus maps? In fact, let's see, did I leave that up there? I don't right now. Every country in the world is going through this, you asshole. Just saying. Man, you know what? I got a better idea. Why would you... Well, hang on. We'll finish this first, and then I got a question or something. FTG. I don't care if it's not Thursday. FTG, Glenn Kirshner. Here... Okay. I'm trying to assimilate all available evidence, rapidly developing and being reported every day. Yeah, we're also finding out that a lot of things they're reporting are wrong. To fairly assess whether Trump and his administration may have acted, failed to act, in a way that could give rise to homicide liability. Are you fucking kidding me? This is... If that's the case, then Barack Obama would be in jail right now, wouldn't he? Wouldn't Barack Obama be in jail right now? Because H1N1 killed between 12,000 and 18,000 Americans. That's Barack Obama's fault? Okay, I disagree. It's not Barack Obama's fault. Regardless, that's holy shit. Moving on. Here's what he'd say here. This is not an easy question. It is a very easy question. You are an idiot. Further, whereas the evidence is clear that Trump has committed multiple criminal offenses, both before his tenure as president, campaign finance crimes, during his time as president, obstruction of justice, bribery, extortion. Excuse me? Notice what he said before that. The evidence is clear. Do you understand you don't realize that the president prior to this particular president paid the biggest fine in history for campaign finance violations? You know what the penalty for a campaign finance violation is? The worst penalty ever, probably, except for Dinesh D'Souza, who they threw in jail with the first person ever to go to jail for a campaign finance crime. You know what it's usually a small fine. Usually an oversight. Holy shit. This is derangement at its finest. But the evidence is clear, he says, that he's committed multiple criminal offenses before his tenure as president. Really? Before his tenure as president? If it was before his tenure as president, why didn't he get prosecuted for any of those supposed crimes? He continues, homicide liability by his negligent, grossly negligent, and or possibly intentional mishandling of the coronavirus crisis in the U.S. We're going to get back to that word intentional in a second. Is a more nuanced and thorny issue and deserves careful consideration, but the homicide liability issue must be addressed because all criminal charges will have to be investigated and, if the evidence dictates it, prosecuted come January 2021. Stay tuned. What happens in January 2021, Glenn Kirshner? Oh, you mean when Trump gets inaugurated for the second time? if you think Joe Biden's not going to beat him. Oh, and then Joe Lockhart posted last night on the idea that Fox News may face serious liability. Huh? Really? Jesus Christ. It's insanity. That is okay. Now let's get back to this word intentional, though. You know, as I go through Twitter, which it's very difficult to do sometimes. There's so many people out there saying, yeah, Trump wants Americans to die. The intentional mishandling of the coronavirus crisis. Why would you? What part? What exactly do you think intentional would be? What's intentional? Oh, because there a lot of people. Every time you hear something about, you know, part of the private sector is helping out with this, or some companies doing that, and I keep hearing people say, well, I bet you Donald Trump has invested in that company that makes respirators. I bet you Donald Trump had to wait. He needed to wait, and the reason he didn't take these WHO kits for testing kits is because he has investments in a company that does testing kits here, and he wanted to steer it to his friends. Or remember the Oscar thing, that the health insurance company Oscar, when they're saying, well, that health, because Oscars was saying something about how they'd come up with a search system on their website for their customers to be able to find testing sites, and they're going to add and what questions you need to ask yourself before you go to a testing site. And the people were saying, oh, that's Jared Kushner's brother who owns that. Oh, I bet. What do you mean that they're doing test kits now? They're the company making test kits. They're going to profit off of test kits. No, Oscar is an insurance company that's making a web tool available to their customers to help them find testing sites, and they're making it available to the public for free. Well, I bet they have investments in that testing. It's the projection of these people. They want them to be evil. It's like a religion. It's a religion that these people are evil in intent. They want people to die. Remember, but that every time there's someone on the right in office, or a Republican or whatever, it's always they want to kill people. They think they want to push grandma off the cliff. FTG. With a capital F. TG. Holy shit, it's unbelievable. But it is believable because these people are fucking deranged. Good morning, MC.
Hammer time.
Also, good morning to, I just saw somebody else. Mitch the Ripper, how you doing? Kevin Stillwell, welcome to the show. If anyone here is not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button right down there, and make sure you hit the bell to make sure that you are getting, getting notifications. All right, so yeah, FTG Glenn Kirshner. We're doing FTG a little bit early today. All right, and let's continue on for some more cancer. So this Washington Post columnist, aka the Washington Compost, oh, they changed it. They changed it a little bit. So first of all, this, okay. Oh, I see. This idiot, maybe. Okay, so the Washington Post columnist says it's ironic, but because this is a line in this particular opinion column in the Washington Compost. It's ironic, but because China was the first country to deal with coronavirus, it is now ahead of most of the world in terms of containment. We don't even have to plan for today, while Beijing already has a plan for tomorrow. Now, it took me a minute as I read this, because I thought this person was praising China, and it took me 24 hours to realize that this person is not praising China. What they're saying is China is going to try to capitalize on this while the rest of the world is dealing with this. They're going to try to get all their manufacturing ramped back up. I'm sorry, I need to take a sip of my reparations coffee here just a second. And try to take over a lot of industries that they've already kind of taken over. Because, you know, for example, we're trying to repatriate a lot of our capacity for pharmaceutical ingredients, pharmaceutical production, even shit like masks. You know, we don't produce... Now, 3M produces masks here in the great state of Minnesota and around the country. Or 3M, a Minnesota company. But China, because everyone else is dealing with this as, you know, the way they did, you know, 2 months ago, they're kind of ahead of the curve on this. And so the article's saying that they're going to try to redominate a lot of these industries, and no one else is going to be able to recover from it. Well, I don't know, but it just read wrong to me when I read it, and I was kind of pissed when I read it. And I don't know if I responded to this one. But the replies on this are what kind of annoyed the shit out of me. Trump can't handle coronavirus, let alone China. It's really not a fair fight. November can't come soon enough. Oh, really? Do you all remember how much shit you were giving Trump for taking on China with the tariffs and shit like that? And China was ready to make concessions. They're starting to deal on the table because the tariffs were kind of getting on their nerves, and they're like, oh, we can't deal with this. So they're starting to come to the table. Look, here's something that's unique about Donald Trump than any other candidate for president in perhaps the last 5 or 6 presidential cycles. Donald Trump is one person when he was just a regular old citizen back in the 90s, and he was being interviewed about different interviews and stuff. Donald Trump's the only person that said a long time ago that China is going to become a problem. He's been kind of a hawk on Chinese trade for probably a couple decades. Okay, he's been talking about China for years, where, you know, we've been kind of letting a little bit too much of our capacity and manufacturing capacity be transferred to countries where we don't have control of it anymore, and that it's going to come and bite us in the ass someday. And now that he's president, you notice that was one of his big things is, you know what, we got to fix this trade issue with China. And I'm not anti-China. I don't really care about China, but I do care about whether or not when we have certain problems like this, that we're able to deal with them somewhat locally. And so this person here, it's hilarious. Trump can't handle coronavirus, let alone China. Name me a country, by the way. Name a country that can handle coronavirus. China sure couldn't. Now they're finally getting their shit together a little bit, but at least they say they are. Who could believe? I don't believe any numbers I hear out of China. I can almost immediately disregard if they. It's kind of like Bernie Sanders' plan for paying all the pie in the sky shit that he talks about. If he gives you a number of what it's going to cost, you can immediately double it or triple it. Well, I kind of think that might be the case for coronavirus cases in China. I don't know that if their numbers are accurate. You can't believe them because they're going to hide as much as they can. The idea that their numbers stopped at 80,000, haven't grown at all, I find it suspect, especially when you look at Italy. Their cases aren't leveling off. All over Europe, their cases aren't leveling off. Certainly our cases aren't leveling off. And look, so just as of yesterday, there's at least one case in all 50 states of the United States. Let's think about that. There's at least one case in all 50 states now. How the hell did that happen? How did that happen? Did we, because remember the first cases were in Washington State, and we can understand that because there are direct flights from China to Seattle. That's where a lot of our Chinese travel in the United States goes to and from. It's directly from there. Some of those people then get on a flight and travel to Washington, D.C. So we find these cases in Washington. They're the first case in the United States. Then all of a sudden there's a case in California. Now there's a bunch of cases in New York State, which I understand there's a big Chinese population back in New York that probably flies back and forth, or people who do business in China. So now New York State has the most cases in the country, with Washington State and California, and I don't know, the bigger states are all starting to see it, right? There's a few cases in every state now. How'd that happen? Who can handle that? How would you have stopped that? Answer me this. What president could have stopped that? Okay? And, well, I'll get to that in the next one because there's some really more stupid shit. More stupid shit. Anyway, it was the first to deal with it because that's where the crap began in Wuhan, China, either in a biolaboratory or the wet markets. They won't tell the truth. Good point. Just so happens their idea of quarantine was welding gates shut over the front of an apartment building and leaving people inside to die. I don't think that's something we should approve of, much less try to replicate. Ding. And shooting the ones left inside. They're on the other side of the curve. It's not over yet, and I could research, but every clean herd finds it. All it takes is an untouched town or region. We must learn from the Spanish flu. The same could happen here. We are in this for the long haul, most likely. That's just some of the things. China has always played the long game. They are patient, calculated, fixated on achieving every goal. If warfare is deception, China has drawn us in with COVID-19, and while we're preoccupied, they're moving closer to checkmate and game over. War by other means. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they are not. I don't know. This shit's insane. This shit is just insane. Back to the bookmarks, because this next one will help me get into the other part that I was talking about. So now we have Eric Umansky, deputy managing editor of ProPublica, founder of Department Cloud. They're editor of Trump Inc. podcast. So this is someone who spends a great deal of time thinking about nothing other than Donald J. Trump.
Wow.
Now this is a thread of cancer also, because I'm thinking to myself, what is this person talking about? So here's their thing. Let's start with the thread right here. He says, Eric Umansky says, this is beyond nuts. The administration still hasn't given the Army Corps of Engineers any orders. We haven't been assigned a mission. Anybody here? Can anybody here tell me what the Army Corps of Engineers? What would you assign them to do when it comes to a pandemic? So he's quoting an article from the New York Times. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is prepared to assist the nation in a time of crisis to the very best of its capabilities, and we are postured to lean forward when an official request is received through the Department of Defense. Rainey W. Brunson, an Army Corps spokesman, said in a statement. Sorry, it's not didn't do full screen there. However, at this time, we've not been assigned a mission. Okay. Anyone, what can the Army Corps of Engineers do right now? What are they going to build? Build a hospital? How long and how soon and how fast? Now, I know that they have some of the military, for example, right now in New York State, they're preparing to put up temporary sites, for when they need them, and their temporary sites can be put together fairly quickly, if it comes to that. But right now, don't you need to, for the Army Corps Engineer to do anything, you kind of, they can be prepared and maybe they have a plan, but assigned a mission? Well, you've got the Army Corps of Engineer has to move to where it's needed, and right now maybe that particular subset of the United States government isn't necessarily needed at this moment, or don't. Of course, they don't have to assign a mission. You still got to see where they are going to be needed most and what they're going to need. Do you just go do something willy-nilly just because they're there? He continues, though. Even FEMA is awaiting orders from the administration. FEMA officials said the Department of Health and Human Services remains in charge of the federal response, and it is too waiting for orders from the agency before it moves to ramp up assistance. Well, maybe, just maybe. Where are you going to send FEMA right now? Okay, so we see cases in all these states right now. You send them when states request help, not before, because you don't know where they're going to need the help the most. Okay, now right now it looks like possibly they'll need it most in New York City and the state of Washington. But what do you do? What this is okay. So this is just complaining to complain, I think. Now here's the other one. This one cracks me up too. The governor of Oregon wrote Pence asking for 400,000 masks. White House didn't respond for a week. Then it sent just 37,000 masks. Most were expired. New York City asked the feds for 2 million masks. It got 76,000. All were expired. So this is it. Here it is. For days it got no response. Only by March 14th received its first shipment of 36,800 masks. But there was a problem. Most of the equipment they got was all well past the expiration date, so it wouldn't be suitable for surgical settings. Hang on a second. I got to pause for a moment. I'm sorry, guys. Every once in a while, sometimes I just got to take the calls, so hang on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So anyway, okay, okay, can anyone tell me what's wrong with this? So they're pissed because these states are asking for masks from the federal government, okay? And I'm thinking about this. And my first thought is, first of all, I think I even replied to this one. Where is this? Hang on a second. So help me understand why you think the federal government would have 2 million masks on hand, or even 400,000 masks on hand. Where would they have this surplus of masks, and why? Okay, look, the federal government isn't a big warehousing distribution center. Okay, now they're gonna have some masks in the facilities that the U.S. federal government runs, right? So VA hospitals, military hospitals. In fact, the military has 5 million masks that they're what's the word? I don't say repatriated, whatever, but putting into the system. But the masks have to be made, okay? For example, most of these masks are made in 3D. Nobody warehouses just millions of, especially, why would the federal government have millions of masks? Okay? Individual hospitals buy masks. The federal government doesn't. The only thing that the federal government buys masks more are for military hospitals and the VA hospitals. So sure, they'll have them there. and so I asked that question on Twitter, help me understand why you think the federal government would have 2 million masks on hand or even 400,000 extra masks on hand. Someone answers me, they have stockpiles of medical equipment for emergencies. Oh, really? 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 Do they have like stockpiles of bottled water for emergencies, like a hurricane or stuff, or do they have to go get it? Do they have to get it from somewhere? The federal government's not going to just have a fucking surplus of masks on hand. They don't have a giant warehouse where they just happen to have medical masks and respirators. That would be stupid. Now, they certainly can. I'm sure 3M is furiously making them right now. Yeah, for natural disasters. Yeah, but I mean, okay. Let me see. No, what else does this dumbass say in this thread? Oh, so they continue. What did I do there? Okay, here we go. Oh, I rolled that up. Scrolled up. They continue. A month ago, I said coronavirus was China's Chernobyl. I was wrong. It is Chernobyl, but it's the United States. By the way, ProPublica is working very hard to document what's really going on, including all the failures. What the fuck? No, you're not looking for what's really going on. You just want to call everything a failure. Look, this shit just pisses me off. Okay? This is something that the entire country needs to go through. And if you wonder why many of these idiots on Twitter especially, it's almost like you want this is the Bill Maher. I'm going to call this Bill Maher syndrome from now on. I'm going to call it Bill Maher syndrome because Bill Maher once said on his show on a Friday night that we need to have a recession so that we can get him out of office. Only a recession is going to get Trump out of office. And so I'm sure. I tweeted this the other day. I said, I'm sure that this whole situation is just Bill Maher's wet dream because they can blame it on Trump. Look, so people are complaining because that Trump didn't do enough to keep this out of the country. Well, one, name me a country that has been able to keep it out of their country in this hemisphere or the other hemispheres, depending on your thinking north, south, east, or west. Name a country that has not had to deal with this yet. Because right now, every country in Europe has cases now. Every state in the United States. All the provinces in Canada have cases now. Now, I haven't heard about it in the hotter climate, countries along the equator. I don't know if there's cases in Mexico. I don't know if there's cases in... I know there's been a couple cases in Nigeria, but the one case that they mentioned is they don't have a case showing there anymore. It seems to not take hold in hotter climates. Singapore had a bunch of cases, but they don't seem to be growing either. But it's just insanity how people treat this. Let's see. I think someone got a reply here. Okay, so in the nick time, Congress pays for the Zika fight. Oh my gosh. Here, thank you, Clay. I'm gonna see what this is here. Oh, I didn't even switch over. Here we go. Congress finally passed this Zika funding bill, provides $1.1 billion. What's the date on this? September 29th, 2016. More than 8 months after the White House asked for it, Congress has finally agreed on some funding to help fight the Zika virus and to study its effects. Yeah, so it took them 8 months for the House to act on that. That's funny. Thank you, Clay. I don't gotta read the rest. I just think it's funny. So, you know, and look, Congress is in less than 3 months or 2 months or whatever it is already passing what the president is asking for and more. Because the president has taken leadership on this. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, has he been perfect? No, but remember, let's remember what this is. Hello, Reason Vision. Good morning, C. Thomas. Good morning, John Connor. I don't know if I said hi to you. And Mr. Pinochet, I think you were here earlier. Good morning, Mr. President. Thank you for being here. Note what they actually do. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's read the rest of this. Thank you, Tumble Clay. I'm going to read more of this because there's something in here that I got a feeling is going to make me want to cry. Okay, so Congress finally agreed on some funding to help fight the Zika virus and study its effect. President Barack Obama signed the stopgap spending bill Thursday. It provides $1.1 billion. Wow, that's not as much to use in continuing work on the vaccine against Zika virus infection, as well as studies of the effects on unborn babies, adults, and children. It will also help states control the mosquitoes that spread the virus. Congress, is this, okay, that's not Obama. Congress, oh, I'm sorry, did I say Obama? Excuse me. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I had said Obama. Congress has finally treated Zika like an emergency. It is and shown the American people that it is capable of rising above partisanship. 8 months after the White House asked for it. Now you might blame Republicans for that because they held Congress at the time, but whatever. Let's go. Obviously, no one was screaming bloody murder, and we haven't seen a lot of it anyway. Let's see. It's just over half what federal health agencies say they need, and the approval squeaked through just 2 days before the end of the fiscal year in September 30th. We will be able to put the money towards the Zika fight as soon as the new fiscal year begins, says that person. National Institutes of Health and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said they had run out of fresh money to fight Zika. The administration had already pulled $589 million from other programs, including $500 million meant to help prevent another Ebola outbreak. Fascinating. The CDC and NIH had robbed emergency preparedness, cancer vaccine, and HIV programs for more cash. The bill does not give back any of the borrowed money, said National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases Director Dr. Tony Fauci. Everyone knows him by now. He's world famous. That includes $11 million from tuberculosis, malaria, and flu, $47 million from reprogrammed Ebola funds, and $34 million from the National Cancer Institute and other NIH institutes. We may never get to officially pay that back, Fauci told NBC News. All the $152 million that NIAID will receive will go to Zika projects, predominantly vaccine work. It's disgraceful that Congress took so long responding to this deadly health crisis, said Florida Representative Vern Buchanan, a Republican who fought for Zika funding. Oh, maybe it was the Democrats who held this back. Interesting. This is a case study of Washington dysfunction at its worst. Let's see. Republicans and Democrats sparred for months over where Zika money should come from and whether any spending bills should limit how it's spent. Republicans wanted to repurpose existing funds to keep them away from Planned Parenthood clinics in Puerto Rico. Democrats wanted what they called a clean bill without such restrictions. Senior health officials like Fauci and the CDC director Tom Frieden were forced to beg repeatedly for funds both on and off Capitol Hill. So this got caught up in a Planned Parenthood. So they wanted to what? They wanted to keep it. While Congress argued Zika arrived in the U.S., the CDC reports thousands of confirmed Zika cases in U.S. travelers, including more than 800 pregnant women. CDC experts say they are likely thousands more that haven't been reported. So they were trying to help add this to Planned Parenthoods, and I don't know. What? I'm confused. Apparently, so there was a fight over whether or not these would be used to help fund Planned Parenthoods in Puerto Rico. Oh my God. You know what? That's it. It's one of the tough ones there. Well, Fosse, no one's complaining about Fosse though. Humble Clay, note it's Fosse. I'm used to him, but Trump gets criticized. Well, that's one thing I haven't seen them criticize Trump for, is the fact that Fosse's in charge. Everyone seems to like him and are glad that he and the doctor. What's the doctor's name? The woman that always speaks. Those two clearly have had been part of multiple administrations, have gone through multiple epidemics, so to speak. So, yeah, I bet the media calls for criminal charges against Trump because of the virus. Yeah, we just talked about that. There was one of my bookmarks had some info on that. All right, looks like I'm not going to get to a lot more stuff here. Let me just highlight a couple headlines and then we'll get into Twitter trends. One, Dr. Fosse, speaking of which, says that the president is not responsible for delayed COVID-19 testing. Trump says Biden should apologize. On Tuesday, Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, thoroughly dismissed the charges that both President Trump and CDC were responsible for delayed testing of COVID-19, alleging it resulted from a technical glitch out of the president's control. It was a complicated series of multiple things that conflated that just, went the wrong way. One of them was a technical glitch that slowed things down in the beginning. Nobody's fault. There weren't any bad guys there. It just happened, Fosse told Hugh Hewitt on the Hugh Hewitt Show. It was a glitch or anything. Was the glitch or anything about the production of the test President Trump's fault? Hewitt asked, as reported by The Hill. Or actually, let me put it more broadly. Would every president have run into the same problem? Great question, Hugh Hewitt. Why does my bell not working? What the hell? Well, here, let's go with nothing's working. All right, well, whatever. Jesus. The Trump administration has been severely criticized for the low number of tests being performed on COVID-19. There we go. Oh my God, now they're all popping up. Opponents of the president, such as former Vice President Joe Biden, have alleged that the administration rejected testing kits from the World Health Organization. That is a lie. During a press conference on Tuesday, administration and health officials denied refusing other tests. No one ever offered a test that we refused, said Admiral Brett Giroir, Assistant Secretary of Health at the Department of Health and Human Services. This was a research-grade test that was not approved, not submitted to the FDA. There was a small number that we have greatly surpassed in a very short period of time. Deborah Birx, that's who I was thinking of. She's a State Department official coordinating the White House coronavirus task force, told reporters that the United States developed a high-quality test that would not result in false positives or negatives, because some of the early tests they did had some false negatives. We are adamant about having a high-quality test based on our commercial vendors, Birx said. Over the next few months, you'll begin to see that other tests that were utilized around the world were not of the same quality, resulting in false positives and potentially false negatives. So much for that. There goes another narrative. All right, and let's see. What else do I got here? What happened there? How did that happen? All right. Let's see. White House preparing to call military to boost coronavirus medical response. Let's see. Coronavirus affects 18 elderly in an Illinois nursing home. That's not good. Cuomo, I have no plans to quarantine any city, smacks down crazy de Blasio or de Bolshevik. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced Tuesday that he has no interest or plans to quarantine any city in the state, and no city can quarantine itself without state approval. Cuomo speaking to the rumors that New York City will be quarantined. Here's what he said.
Some people are upset about schools being closed. I said to the local officials, and I want to say to the people of the state of New York, if you are upset by what we have done, be upset at me. County executive did not do this. The village mayor did not do this. The city mayor did not make these decisions. I made these decisions. These were all state-ordered rules. It's not your local elected official. I made them because I believe they are in the best interest of the state. I know they cause disruption. I know people are upset. I know businesses will be hurt by this. I don't feel good about that. I feel very bad about that because I know we're going to have to then deal with that issue as soon as this immediate public health issue is over. But my judgment is do whatever is necessary to contain this virus. And then we will manage the consequences afterwards. The old expression, the buck stops on my desk, the buck stops on my desk. Your local mayor.
I'm not sure if this is the one. Not only, Lindsay, not only does he hold himself accountable, but he was also very complimentary to the president. And let me show you that one, because that one's going to blow you away too. Where'd I do this here? Hang on a second. Listen to this. Listen to this. You are going to fall over. Listen, this is on Rachel Maddow, no less.
Senator, just to be clear, in terms of your partnership, as you described it with President Trump, there's obviously been friction there. There always is, even in normal political times, between state and federal leaders at times like this. Do you feel that you're working constructively with the federal government now, with that kind of urgent planning process that you're talking about right now for getting those things built in a matter of weeks? Do you feel like you and the federal government are rowing in the same direction?
I think it's fair to say, Rachel, that my relationship with the president went beyond mere state-federal institutional frictions.
Now, so here she loves that because he admits that they don't have a great relationship. But listen closely, Rachel. Listen to what the governor says.
We've had significant differences. There is no doubt about that. And I have for many years, and I've been very outspoken about it, as has he.
Wait for
but I had a
it.
very good conversation with the president where I said, look, forget Democrat, Republican. We're Americans, and we're talking about life and death. And we're going to have a tragedy in this state. We have the highest number of cases in the United States. We're going to have a real tragedy where people die because they couldn't get the right health care. And I need the help of the federal government. I need that partnership. I'm a former cabinet secretary in the Clinton administration. I was Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. I did disasters all across the country. I know the potential of the federal government, and we need it here. And I said, I put out my hand in partnership. I want to work with you. I'll be a good partner. I need your help. Let's do what we were elected to do. Let's fulfill our constitutional duty. And the president said yes. I believe he's sincere. More than just belief, he has acted on it, Rachel. I spoke to the Secretary of Defense today. I got a call from the White House team late last night, early this morning. I have the Army Corps of Engineers coming in here tomorrow. So I believe he's doing what he has to do, and I respect him for it. I respect him for it.
Oh, can you feel the pain in Rachel Maddow right now? Rachel, if you're watching, and I know you watch the show, I'm sorry this is happening to you. I really am. I'm sorry, Rachel. So anyway. Oh, sometimes I'm such a dick. Okay, moving on. Let's see. The left exploits a pandemic. No shit. This article you can just. This one I'm not gonna read, but here I'm gonna let you. I'm just gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Right click this, open a window, read it later. It's a great article on how they love to. Well, here, let me just read the first paragraph because this is good. Americans are trying to cope as best they can with the devastating coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on their everyday lives. Some have turned to prayer. Last week, President Trump declared Sunday, March 15th, a national day of prayer for all Americans affected by the coronavirus pandemic and for our national response efforts. What was Islamist Democrat Representative Rashida Tlaib's response? She retweeted anti-gun activist David Hogg's disgusting rant, which said in part, "Fuck a national day of prayer." Then she tried to walk back what she had done with this lame explanation. My retweet was not to be an attack on prayer. It was to bring attention to the need for meaningful action to combat this public health crisis. Evidently, in Tlaib's warped mind, cursing a national day of prayer for Americans of all faiths is an effective way of bringing attention to the crisis that all Americans and their elected leaders are facing with all hands on deck. Rashida Tlaib and David Hogg, FTG. Thank you very much. Moving on. Let's see what else we got here. Pentagon officials say Joe Biden's Chinese coronavirus proposal is totally wrong and would actually make things worse. Oh, remember when he said he would, Quid Pro Joe said that he would mobilize the United States Army or whatever. Well, the Pentagon officials say Joe Biden's proposal is totally wrong. Former Vice President Joe Biden offered his proposal for how he would handle the coronavirus, and it involved the military. Unfortunately for Biden, however, Pentagon officials think that's a bad idea, U.S. News reported. Sunday night's Democratic primary debate was overshadowed by growing coronavirus crisis, which is taking lives and disrupting the world economy. The United States has observed as some countries have handled it relatively well and others relatively poorly. Perhaps the largest question that will determine how the United States fares is whether or not our health care system can handle the inevitable increase in patient volumes. Biden's plan to address the reality that U.S. hospitals may not have enough beds and enough medical equipment to treat everyone who will get the coronavirus, as well as patients suffering from other issues, Biden says that he would turn to the military. I would call out the military now, Biden said at the Democratic debate. They have the ability to provide the surge that hospitals need. They have the capacity to build 500 hospital beds and tents that are completely safe and secure. It's a national emergency. I would call out the military. The Pentagon disagrees. Here's what they said, okay? Here's their statement. Air Force Brigadier General Paul Friedrichs, the Surgeon General for the Pentagon's Joint Staff, and Pentagon spokesman John Hoffman, who also spoke at the briefing, said that the mobile hospital facilities the military can rapidly deploy do not typically isolate patients as medical professionals would need to contain the spread of the disease, like coronavirus. Rather, they keep patients together in common spaces and sometimes stack beds 4 high to maximize space. That kind of grouping would have the opposite effect of containment. All right, Joe, good plan. Enough of that. Let's get into Twitter trends, and I need to get out of here. So, here, pop here real quick. I got to hit the Explore tab. What's on the Explore tab, of course. Let's see what's on the Explore tab. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is a sign. This is a sign that maybe people are stop losing their minds. On the top tab of the Explore tab, the promoted item that always shows up at the top is a television show, Motherland, on Freeform. I've never even heard of the channel. Well, apparently there's Born Witches Made Warriors. Okay, some self-righteous hoes who are witches who are going to save the world, I guess. Motherland Fort Salem, I never heard of the show. Maybe you have. I've never even heard of Freeform, but I don't know if that must be a cable channel or something. Oh, not good. Trending number 1 on Twitter today, there is an earthquake in, looks like near Salt Lake City. Okay, 5.7 on the Richter scale. It is trending number 1, hashtag earthquake. The plague is happening. There's no toilet paper. Now earthquakes are waking me up. Love that, says Ben Morgan. Well, now we in Utah can justify our 261% increase in panic buying. There was an earthquake. SOC, Utah alarms going off up at the copper mine. Erie. This is, here it is. You can faintly hear that over the music. Yeah, I know the music's up a little too loud. That's okay. Anyway, apparently, so they had a 5.7 magnitude earthquake near Salt Lake City. I know okay. The Salt Lake City mayor, I know the last thing we need right now is an earthquake, but here we are. And it sounds like aftershocks are likely. The city is assessing the situation now, and I'll circle back with an update when I have it. Be safe. Though that's 1 hour ago from the Salt Lake City mayor. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of people. Well, a lot of people are talking about it, but not hearing anything about any damage yet. We'll hear. You'll definitely be hearing more about that today. All right, moving on. Just click there. Number 2, Wednesday wisdom. Let's get some wisdom for the day to keep your day going. Let's see. Trump praised China's handling of coronavirus, then lied to the American people, hiding it since November. Then up until last week claimed it had been contained. Okay, first of all, we just found out the first case happened in November 2 days ago. Okay? So how do you hide something from November that you didn't hear about until the middle of December and took steps to mitigate in January and got criticized for it? Again, TDS. Wednesday wisdom. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. That's according to Albert Einstein. That's actual wisdom. That is actual wisdom. Thank you. Thank you for bringing up an Einstein quote. That's very good. More on Wednesday wisdom. Do not change your behavior to avoid being infected. Assume you are infected and change your behavior to avoid transmitting. That is some Wednesday wisdom. All right, we're 2 for 3 right now. The Holy Bible today says, fear God, to fear no evil, fear God, to fear no one, fear God, to fear no virus, fear God, to fear no illness, fear God, to fear no threats, fear God, to fear no dangers, fear God, to live free of fears, Father, Jesus, Holy Spirit, Lord. Okay, so if you are of the Christian variety, that'll be comforting to you, which I've never really left my faith. I just don't talk about it much. Let's see. A real friend is one who walks in when the rest of the world runs out of toilet paper. No. A real friend is one who walks in when the rest of the world runs out of pasta. No. A real friend is one who leaves your shopping by the door if you're self-isolating. I'm not really sure what that means, but the dog's cute. All right, let's move on from that particular trend. Moving on. Trending number 3, Utah earthquake. We've already talked about that, so I'm going to keep that go. Number 4, of course, the ass wipes of the TDS variety are getting another hashtag going, because you know what the best thing you can do when there's a crisis in America? Make the best hashtag, right? Trump lied, people died. Because, you know what? Oh, and here's why it's trending. Because, wow, after thousands of people tweeted China lied, people died, it began trending nationally. Within moments, the hashtag was instantly replaced, I'm sure by Twitter, with Trump lied, people died, and the original hashtag vanished despite thousands of people retweeting it. Was this Twitter, China, or both? Well, I'm pretty sure it's a good combination of the two, because here it is. 41,000 tweets. So China lied, people died. And it's replaced by something with 12,000 tweets. Trump lied, people died. Immediately replaced. China is asshole. That's all I got to say about that. The Dow is down 1,003 at 10:38 a.m. Eastern Time. Can't make this shit up. You know, I'm so tired of seeing this. This is from 2014 when the Dow was at 9,000. Look, ass wipes. I'm sorry. With the toilet paper shortage, I should never call people that. You know what? The Dow was up 1,200 for the day yesterday. The Dow is going to fluctuate just ridiculously during this time period, and it may go lower and lower and lower for all I know. I know that if they actually send me and Lady Boomer 2 $1,000 checks, the first thing I'm probably going to do is go out and buy an index fund based on the Dow and put all 2,000 into that, because in 10 years when we're ready to retire, I think we'll be okay. Okay? Like I said, there's all this panic buying and selling, which includes the stock market. I really think you need to think about what your long-term goals are. Talk to your financial planner. I don't give financial planning advice. I was in banking at one time in my life, and I know a little bit, enough to be a little dangerous, but please don't consider this actual financial advice. But I'm pretty sure your financial advisor would say, you know what, unless you're retiring by October, you probably should just let it ride. And I guarantee you, the very wealthiest people in the country are either doing puts or they're just sitting on their stuff. Because guess what? While all you day traders are selling, they're buying. And they are going to be super duper rich, and the wealth gap's going to increase by threefold when this ends. Just saying. Do you want to be part of that wealth gap on the top or the bottom? Talk to your financial advisor. Don't take my advice. All right. Not only did Trump lie and people died, but his 6 sycophants followed his orders and lied as he did. Kelly Conway and Larry Kudlow said the virus was contained. Devin Nunes said go out and eat in restaurants. So did AOC, dumbass. Remember when AOC said, I just feel like there is some, just some Chinese restaurants they're just hurting right now because so many people are so racist and not eating in Chinese restaurants. Anyone remember that? Fuck off. Trump is on video saying the virus is a hoax. No. Now see, oh my God. Even the Washington Post said that's a poor Pinocchio lie. Trump is on video saying Trump is on video saying he didn't people on cruise ship tested because he didn't want the numbers to go up. He is not on video saying that. That is a lie. Trump is on video saying cases will grow from 15 to 0. He did say that before anyone really knew what the fuck they were talking about because they didn't know. It was still pretty much isolated in China. And then a few days later, we see a few cases here. We see cases in Italy blowing up. Now we understand. Now just think, what is it on video that we haven't seen? Trump lied, people died. For fuck's sake. Every country in the world is affected by this. Every country in Europe and United, whatever, you know what I'm saying. No matter what the gaslight he spews from now on until his unseating as president, no matter who he tries to blame, it was Trump who created a wave of virus deniers that set back the U.S. 4 weeks from acting slow on the virus. Oh, except for when he closed travel from China and people were calling him racist and a xenophobe for doing that. In fact, oh my God, Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, CNN, the New York Times, Washington Post, they all said he overreacted, and it was his you know what, is because he did it because he's a xenophobe, not because he really cares about saving people. In fact, Donald Trump wants people to die and wants to keep the numbers down so that he could be president again. You know, people who think like that are the people who think like that, maybe. You think there's some political motivation for this? Orange man, bad. Oh my God, I got to get out of this one now. It's just stupidity. Wednesday thoughts will skip. Even, we haven't, what's funny? I just noticed this. When was the last time we were going through hashtags and trends where we actually came up, when we actually ran into a Wednesday thought instead of a Wednesday thought, or a daily thought instead of a daily thought. That's kind of weird. Have you noticed that? We haven't seen many lately. You know, the hashtag hoes, the trend, Twitter trend thoughts. Isn't that weird? We haven't seen any for a while. All right, let's move on. Bleach is trending. Oh my God. Bleach is trending. I'm afraid to click it, but I've already clicked it. The Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War arc will receive an anime adaptation. Okay. Whew. I thought there's going to be another drink bleach to save yourself coronavirus. You can't. Bleach, please, do not ever, no matter what anybody tells you, ever drink bleach. Okay, later, DI. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm going to give you a bye-bye bell. There you go. That's a anime feature. Since Bleach coming back, I'm going to drop this classic on the timeline. I know there's a song about Bleach, and here's, oh, what the hell? What kind of animation is that? Bleach fans arriving on the timeline. They're all just floating in. Okay, cool. All right, moving on. That's a anime thing. If you're into anime, Bleach. Moving on, iPad Pro. This is funny. Apple introduces a keyboard and trackpad for the iPad Pro. Oh, they're catching up with the what's the Microsoft one? The Surface. They're catching up with the Surface. So here's the funny thing: is someone said, you know what? If Trump starts sending out these $1,000 checks, and if they see everyone walking around with an iPad Pro, they're going to be really pissed off. I'm going to guess it's more expensive than that, though. Me scrolling past the iPad Pro news and its overpriced accessories because I am more concerned about providing essentials for my family during this pandemic. Yeah, baby, you talk that shit. A closer look at the 2020 iPad Pro. Wash your hands. Okay, there we go. All right, moving on. Oh, wait. There was some news there, though. I missed that part. What's this say? Hang on. I scroll back down. Oh, it's gone. There was something important in one of those. Okay. Well, if you're into Apple products, there's another one for you to go out and buy. I might wait till after the pandemic is over, though. I'm just saying. Michael Irvin's trending with Aaron Hernandez. Michael Irvin says Bill O'Brien offended DeAndre Hopkins with his Aaron Hernandez comment. Well, we have some football drama. Here's what Michael Irvin says. Michael Irvin says DeAndre Hopkins told him that Bill O'Brien pulled him into a meeting and equated him to Aaron Hernandez. Also, O'Brien didn't like Hopkins having his baby mamas coming around. Well, here's the quote.
You know, I couldn't rest my mind on it. I called him again 24 hours later, like late yesterday, and then he was willing to talk more. And I said, tell me what happened in Houston. And he went into it. He told me, he said, Michael, it was a bit of a power struggle there because Coach O'Brien thought he had too much influence over the locker room. He called DeAndre Hopkins in a meeting to talk about this and to kind of just hash it out. In that meeting, he started the meeting with telling DeAndre Hopkins this that blew my mind when DeAndre told me this. He told DeAndre Hopkins, he said, hey, the last time I had to have a meeting like this, it was with Aaron Hernandez. I was like, what? He put in Aaron Hernandez in this meeting? He said, yes, he did. He said, Michael, that blew my mind that he would even bring that up. I've never been in any trouble. I don't know why would he equate me with Aaron Hernandez.
And if Aaron Hernandez is the former player that got charged with murder, he was in jail, and then he committed suicide while he was in jail. That's who Aaron Hernandez is. They compared this dude to Aaron Hernandez.
And from there, the meeting just deteriorated. You know, he got into talking about DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins has a few kids and from different women. And he said, you know, he told DeAndre he doesn't like that he has his baby mamas around sometimes.
Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. Yeah, that is first world problems. You're right. Advocatus Diaboli. Anyway, that's interesting, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is sad. Okay, I feel bad now. Kathy Griffin gutted sharing the news of her mother, Maggie Griffin's death. Now, I'm not a fan of Kathy Griffin at all. However, the fact that she has to announce the death of her mother, who is also an actress. Comedian Kathy Griffin announced that her mom, a fixture of her reality show, has died. I am gutted. My best friend. I'm shaking. I won't ever be prepared. I'm so grateful you guys got to be part of her life. She wrote her fans. Okay, well, that's sad. Rest in peace to, what's her name? Hello? Put her name on there at least. Maggie Griffin. Rest in peace, Maggie Griffin. Okay, that's sad. I don't have any... yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Jason Terry's trending. I don't know why. Who cares? Jason Terry, I'm just going to stay home and help the world heal by social distancing, goes on Twitter. Jason Terry. 7 years ago today, LeBron James did this to Jason Terry. During a 17-point comeback win to give the Miami 23 state wins. Oh, poor Jason Terry. This is... look out, Jason. Get out of the way. You're done, son. Okay. That was like, wait, one more shot of this. One more view of it. Here it comes. Jason Terry tries to stop it. Oh, get out of the way. Goodbye, Jason Terry. Okay, I don't know why he's really trending, but anyway. I don't care. But happy birthday. Mac is trending. Who's Mac? Mac who? What? Oh, this is the dude. Okay, I think I've seen this before. This is my son, Mac, who is autistic. He turns 22 on Friday and was supposed to go out for a family dinner. He doesn't understand the reasons why we can't, and it's been a challenging few days. He loves birthdays, especially his. Feel free to send him birthday wishes. Okay, happy birthday to Mac. In fact, here, you know what? Sometimes I don't like these kinds of tweets, but you know what? If you want to say happy birthday to Mac, there's the tweet in the chat. And he's trending. That's pretty cool, too, that he's trending on Twitter. All right, moving on. Boneless is trending. Boneless? Is this like about boneless wings? There's no such thing as boneless wings, people. Don't be fooled. Those are just chicken nuggets and tenders. Right. Who's this? How did this happen? Boneless wings are better than bone-in wings. This is not up for discussion. This is a fact. You are out of your freaking mind. I'm sorry. Wings got to have bones in them. If they're not boneless, they're just chicken tenders. They are right. Good morning. Have a legend of father, son. What? Oh, boneless on his bed. Okay, I don't know what that means. Boneless wings are better than bone. Get the hell out of here. Are you kidding me? Can't trust the nigga to eat boneless chicken wings. Right? 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 You know what? Humble Clay, in some places you can't take him out to dinner. In Minnesota, all the restaurants are closing at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. On a daily basis. So it's going to be a challenge to take anyone out to dinner right now in some place in the country. The restaurants are closed for the most part. In fact, like here, we can only do, since I work for a restaurant part-time, we can only do carry-out or delivery or curbside delivery. So anyway, well, if wings are cooked right, you can pull the bones right out. But that's not a boneless wing. That's a wing that was on the bone that you got the chicken off of it. Like you just do one of these things where you stick it in your mouth, you go... and you get all of it off in one swoop. That's still a wing with a bone in it. And there's nothing better than real... What? Okay, amazing boneless floss dancer. My son keeps me amused. Okay. That's a skinny little kid. Anyway, moving on. West Jordan is trending. Something about the West Jordan Police Department? What? Oh, because that's in Utah. Some earthquakes, strongest earthquakes I've experienced. I'm on the 3rd floor of my home, and a couple items rattled off my desk. I felt at least 6 aftershocks in the West Jordan area, some barely noticeable. So that's more about the earthquake. West Jordan casualties, a lot of the Legos fell over, whatever those. Oh, those things. I have one of those. It's in a box still. My son bought me one. Oh, with Martin Martian. I should put that up there. You see, I got my Minions back, if you hadn't noticed, over my shoulder there. All right, moving on. That has to do with the earthquake. Lehigh is trending. Is that also earthquake related? Working in Lehigh on a 4th story when we hear... Okay, yeah, that's another... Lehigh, Ohio. Lehigh, Utah. Fear God is trending. It's remarkable. It's a remarkable thing. The remarkable thing about God is that when you fear God, you fear nothing else. Whereas if you do not fear God, you fear everything else. Interesting. That's interesting. Fear God, not the virus. May the greatest fear be the fear of not being under his presence. So people are trying to settle people down a little bit. All right. Earthquake done. South Jordan. That's about the earthquake. Ogden. That's Utah. About the earthquake. And Orem, finishing up the end of Twitter trends, is also related to the earthquake felt in Orem, Utah area. 5.7. That's not an insignificant earthquake, I gotta tell you. I remember I was near St. Louis. God, when was that? That was in the it's like in the 80s, and there was an earthquake in the middle of Missouri, and because there's a plate there that can move, and that was kind of freaky. I mean, it wasn't where I wasn't in the area of the earthquake, but it was enough to feel the ground shake for a little bit, and it was kind of a weird thing. Anyway, just another asshole promoting fearing God was Old Testament crap. You know what? I'm just saying, I'm not going to judge people who use that as a way to, if that makes someone feel better, hey, more power to them. Let me see if any of the trends changed since we started. Doesn't look like it. I think we might be done for the day. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here today on the Morning Night Live. If you like what we do, make sure you hit the thumbs up button before you go on the way out the door. And as you know, if you would be great help, it would be a great help to me if you could share this video or this stream out when we do them. You can do that by hitting that whatchamacallit right down there, that arrow that says share, and you can share it out on your favorite social media. Also, if you want to donate to the show, you can do that at the PDawgnight.live website. See that? It says it right there. Or you can follow me on Twitter. Mine's Gab right over there. At PDawgnight. Oh, hey Larry. Hi, hey Larry. I didn't see you here. Anyway, and again, thank you so much for coming today. I will be back tomorrow, like I am Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT for my friends from other parts of the world. Reminder, tomorrow, programming note, it is the Trump is the Jackass show. I'm sure we're going to get... I don't know what's going to happen. It'll be interesting to see when I post that on Twitter how people take that. But I got a feeling it might get a rise on us. You know what? I'm such a small Twitter presence. It may do nothing. Who knows? But I'm going to broach that subject once again tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a good day. It is that time that I must go. My name is PDawgnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgnight, and I'm out of here.